Our students and adults traveled to 3 separate communities this summer on their summer service immersion trips. The first went to Cincinnati, Ohio, where they worked with Tau House, a Franciscan ministry that serves people experiencing homelessness and food insecurity. They also worked at a camp for people with differing physical abilities. The second trip was to Kansas City, Missouri, where students and adults worked at an urban farm at Jerusalem Farm, where they grew food and shared it with the community and did some home repair. And the final location was Alamo, Texas, where we partnered with Arise Adelante, a ministry of the Sisters of Mercy that serves children and families of people who are immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers on the southern border. One of our roles here at Macaulay is help form young women of mercy, people who are willing to go out into the world in service of others, and these trips gave them a chance to do so while they were students.
Through going on this service trip, I saw myself and others in more of a peaceful way. I felt God really brought us together and we were able to grow in our faiths together by volunteering.
It allowed me to see the struggles that people go through and to be more grateful for what I have because people out there don't have as much as I do.
It just helps you open your eyes to a new way of life.
I do have a ton of privileges that I do take for granted, and I didn't really recognize that until I went on the trip.
This trip taught me that, these people were going through a tough time, and even in the darkest and toughest moments that these people were going through, they were still happy. So it taught me to just be grateful and to just be happy for what I have.
This trip connected to the mercy values that we live by at Macaulay by helping me see the bigger picture and understanding how I can be of service to people who are in need of mercy.
One moment that really stood out to me was with a boy, Victor, and he was very closed off towards all the girls at the beginning. He wasn't really talking to us. And then by the end, on the last day, he saw that I had a camera and he started taking pictures with it, and he just was telling me about how he's always wanted a camera, and he was having so much fun, and it really made me realize how much of a small thing can have a huge impact on kids.
One moment from the trip that really stood out to me is that we went to a different site because they needed volunteers, and a little girl was making a bracelet next to me and she asked me to tie it, and I accidentally dropped it and all the beads went everywhere. So I felt really, really bad, and then she remade it and she ended up giving it to me, and I still wear it to this day.
One moment from the trip that really stood out to me was I was at a food pantry and there was one woman, she was a mother, and she described to us how her 18-year-old daughter, so not much older than me, was pregnant, and she struggled to buy groceries because they were getting so expensive. So the opportunity to come pick out her own groceries for free was really helpful for her and her family. It changed how I see myself because it helped me realize how much of an impact I can have on people without having to do some grand gesture.
What I learned from the community I served was just how just welcoming they are and how kind they are. These people have a hard life. They have a lot going on and they're scared. They're scared, but they were so kind to me and they were so kind to everyone there. And they just taught me, how to just make the best out of situations, and they just taught me to face life with a smile.
If another student were thinking about going on a service trip, I would say to definitely do it because you get so much experience with service and making new friends and making connections that will last you your entire lifetime. And most importantly, it'll allow you to grow in your faith.
I would say to do it. It was so fun. We got to meet new people, make new friends, especially the little kids. They were so cute. And we got to learn more about the immigration and just learn more about how to be grateful and to see the world in a different light.
I would tell them to absolutely take the opportunity because you're never going to get another one like this. It helped me connect with people who I would have never connected with, whether it was the girls I went with on the trip, the teachers who I've never had a class with that I now say hi to almost every day in the hallways, and it helped me interact with people who I might have never had the opportunity to meet and see their perspective.